Hello my beautiful sunflowers. Right here I'm just showing you quickly how I do a nice champagne kind of look. I'm just brushing on my brows with some brow gel. I will link all of the products used down below in the description box. Right here I'm just filling in my brows with the chocolate eyeshadow from Raine. Just kind of following the natural hair strokes that I created with the brow gel, with a nice angled pencil. Lightly touching the brows, not putting too much pressure here. Doing it on both sides evenly. Make sure it's nice and pretty. Oops, right there is a little dark, but hey, things happen because that one doesn't have a lot of hair. So I was like, argh. Then I just use a little spoolie kind of to just brush it up just a little bit so it's not so harsh. I'm underlining the bottom part just to give it a little bit more formity, if that makes sense. We're going to cover that with concealer, so don't worry about like how it looks a little harsh right now. Concealer is going to do the trick and make it look all beautiful, but I mean it's just gorgeous and natural. I use the Colourpop concealer. Like I said, I'm going to list everything in the description box below. This angled brush, not an angled brush, I'm sorry. This oval brush is from Michaels. This is pretty much where I get a lot of my brushes from, Michaels, for a great price, and they're just nice and soft. Yeah, so I'm just filling in and nicely making sure everything is looking good. Then I nicely went over top just to, you know, make everything look perfect as much as I wanted it to be perfect. I didn't go all the way up to the top because I didn't want to create like a boxy look. I just wanted the top part to be a little bit neat. Doing the same thing on the other side of the brow. Just making them look good and pop. I mean, wow, they look beautiful and natural. Just blending in that stuff as best as I can. Lightly, everything is lightly touched. No harsh, kind of like, no, nothing too harsh, heavy. No. Going back in with the spoolie, just brushing up. As you see, I kind of blended it too much to where it kind of took away from that natural look that I wanted. So, but that's okay. We'll worry about that later. I'm just doing the same thing on this brow that I did on the other brow as well. And then I'm going to be going in with the JUVIAS Place and my little concoction of a sunflower seed oil and some shimmers mixed together to give my skin a nice little radiant glow. Although I have oily skin, I just find that it makes my makeup look very beautiful over top, and I just feel like I'm glowing, and it's summertime, so why not? So I'm just putting that all over my face. As you can see, it gives you a nice little radiant glow. Just make sure everything is blending in nice, smooth, just pretty and looking good and feeling nice and everything like that. Then I'm going to go over top of it with the JUVIAS Place loose highlighting powder to give a little bit more of a pop of shimmer. And just to keep creating that glowy, radiant look and things like that. So I'm just doing that evenly throughout, all over my face. Forehead, sides, cheeks. Make sure everything's kind of rubbed in nicely, beautiful, and yeah, glowy. Then we're gonna go in and prime the eyes with the LA Girls concealer, and I'm just blending it in with the top concealer that I used to carve out my brows with just a little shader brush that I got from Marshall's. I will say this, guys, for this look I kind of learned a lot of things that I would do different for the next time. I probably wouldn't prime my eyes with the concealer, instead just an eye primer, if that makes sense. This like has no color on it, just for the simple fact that I feel that it was too much on my eyes throughout the day, and I started to get creases. Right here, I'm just going in with some gloss that I got from the beauty supply store. A nice little thick gloss. Is only $1, and I love it because a little bit goes a long way. I will say, like here, as you can see, because I prime my eyes with a color concealer, and then try to put gloss over top of it, I started to kind of separate. So I was trying to change that up and not put a concealer as a primer. And I probably really would not. I would just put the gloss on and then the color. Yep, I'm just blending that in, making sure everything is blended out all nice and even. And then I'm going to go in with the Pinky Rose palette. And I like to use my fingers with a shimmer because I feel like it picks up a lot more pigmented than using a brush. And you can just kind of blend it in and smooth it out and things like that. You can either put the shimmer on first and then gloss, or you can do like I did and gloss it and then put the shimmer on. But a little bit goes a long way because this gloss is sticky. But MAC also has a eye gloss that you can use as well. I was just doing trial and error with this look because I really just wanted to create a glossy shimmer kind of pretty look for summertime. It was really quick and easy. And then I'm just going to go in with the 35G palette from Morphe and just use like that darker rustic rose kind of mulberry shimmer shade, just to give the eye a little bit more definition and doesn't look like it just have one color all over. Then I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of a peachy shimmer back in the Pinky Rose palette and just play around with pretty shimmers until I kind of get the color payoff that I'm looking for. So far it's looking really gorgeous. And right here, I'm just going back in with the gloss and putting it over top of it to create that more glossier type lid and everything like that. And you don't have to do this part because if you're just fine with the shimmer how it is popping, totally fine. But like I said, this was trial and error, and I just really wanted to play around with this look and create a really pretty summer shimmer look for you guys and things like that. So yeah, just keep watching. I'm just blending and tapping over and smoothing over with my finger and just making sure that it's as imperfect as possible because I don't want it to be perfect. I just want it to be really pretty. And I'm using a JUVIAS Place foundation. I must say this foundation is amazing. You really only need a dot because a little bit goes a long way with this. I messed around and kind of did more of a glob than I wanted to. However, it's so nice and velvety and smooth. It's just very beautiful. I love this foundation. It is my everyday foundation because it's full coverage, but it's not heavy. Another dupe would be Estee Lauder one. And then right here, I'm just kind of using the same shader brush and just blending out the top so it doesn't look so harsh, and just to make everything look really nice and pretty. I'm using a buffer brush from Real Technique and just kind of blending out that foundation. Sadly, I got some of it in my headband, but whatever, that's what it was there for. This foundation, play around with it and see how you like it. You can either pat it in or kind of do little small brushes. I kind of do little circles and then I pat it in and I go around the face and make sure it's nice and neat and things like that. It's so beautiful. I mean, look at that. And then with that glow underneath of it that we did with the oil and the shimmer, it just looks very beautiful and summer-like. And I really, really, really did enjoy how this look came out. So just take your time and blend your foundation out to your liking and things like that. You can even go back over it with a sponge to mattify it more if you like, but I really didn't do it. I was satisfied with how the brush did the job. So I got a little bit of it in my eyebrow, but that's okay. We'll come back to that later and kind of fix it up and things like that. Yep, and I just went back and kind of fixed the brow up. Of course, it made it a little bit dark on that side, so I had to go back and do the same thing on the other brow. Even though my brows aren't twins, they're sisters, and yeah, I just still wanted them to look really good. They really do still, though, look beautiful. Right here, I'm just going to use the same concealer that I used to carve out my brows. This is my concealer. This is my color, if that makes sense. So when I blended it down, you can see it look like as if I didn't put any concealer on. If you want to go straight in with your highlight concealer, you definitely can, but I tend to just like to go in with my actual concealer color and then put a highlight color over top of it, and it just gives me a nice little pretty highlight. And you'll see that coming up in a second as well. So I'm just blending that concealer out nice and evenly. I can't remember where I got this brush from, but I do know I got it from Marshall's. Just blending in underneath the eye and things like that. You can use a sponge as well, like I said earlier, if you like. I tend to like a brush a little bit better. It just gives me the look that I'm looking for. And then I go over with my foundation brush with the same product, I guess, and just kind of smooth out everything. Then here I'm going in with another LA Girl concealer. This is more like my highlight concealer, just to highlight those areas when the sun hits. It just gives it a pretty little glow and things like that. I mean, look how beautiful that is. I mean, that is gorgeous. It looked like the light is hitting just right there. I mean, it's just so beautiful. A little bit goes a long way. You really don't need a lot. Just blending, 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 blending. Blend, blend, blend. Blend, blend, blend. And it's just so beautiful. Blend, blend, blend. Blend. And blending some more. Just blend that out. Look how gorgeous that is. Then I went in for my contour color. Once again, LA Girl products. And this right here, it didn't blend out the way I wanted it to blend, but I still liked how it was easy for me to put it on the contour on my nose, was because of how narrow the brush was. It didn't do it for me trying to blend it in. So you'll see coming up that I used a different brush to apply it. And I found out with LA Girl products, I just directly apply them on the face without using a brush to apply them, if that makes sense. And you'll see me trying to blend that out, and it would have taken me forever to blend that out. And I was just like, no sis, not today. We're gonna go back in with the same one that I used to blend out the highlight concealers. No. Very beautiful, very, very beautiful. And guys, if you ever had that problem where your contour is too contoured, do not panic. You will see what I did coming up shortly to not make it seem like I literally just chopped off my nose. But yes, I'm just blending in the contour, blending, 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 making it look beautiful. Blending, blending, giving me some more color to my face and things like that. Blending, 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 and making that forehead pop, sis. Ooh. Yep, see right here, I just went back in with a little highlight to just blend in so that way it doesn't look like my nose completely disappeared. Look at that, magic. Beautiful. Then I'm going in here with the no, that's not. That's Lancôme. Yes. Like I said, I will list all the products at the bottom, guys. Juno & Co. sponge to pat that on there nicely. I usually don't bake, but today I was just like, I need to do my under eyes, a little bit things I need to do, so I'm going to bake just a little bit, but I'm going to bake with my color, if that makes sense, and not with the highlight powder. So I'm just doing that, putting it on all the areas where I put the concealer at and where I get really oily at and things like that. Then I'm going in with, I can't remember what I used to do the contour powder. But I love this Real Technique brush for contouring. I mean, look how fluffy it is, but it's angled. So it makes my job so much easier. So much easier. And yes, it's squinch that brush to get it popping right there. And just feel confident while you're doing your makeup. And know that you're beautiful and that it's going to come out flawless, okay? Right here, I am Going to go back in with some concealer from Colourpop, the Colourpop No Filter 00, so that way I can go ahead and put in my inner corner eye color. And you'll see it just blended everything together. So beautiful. I started with the yellow color first, that bright yellow, and then I put like a gold shimmer on top of it to kind of give it some definition to make it pop a little more. I didn't want to just go in with the shimmer because I felt like it really wasn't going to show, and I didn't want to do my finger because I didn't want it messy. So I just used a really small pencil brush that came in a package. Like, again, I get all my brushes from Marshall's. Same brushes you see at Ulta at Marshall's for half the price. And back here, I'm just going back in with my finger and just smoothing out the eyeshadow and making sure that it's beautiful and looking really nice. And then I'm just priming to get ready for the under eye color to make the eye pop. I would never just have a color on top and not do a color at the bottom, because then it just kind of looks imbalanced. So I like to be balanced as much as possible when I'm doing my eyes. Just going in with a really pink peachy shade to make the eye pop. And this was a matte color, wasn't shimmer. I didn't want a shimmer, I just wanted a matte because I really wanted this shimmer to be solely at the top. And yeah, I'm just taking my time with a little small eyeshadow brush. And right here, I apologize if you can't see, but I'm using NYX Cosmetics eye pencil in the color Milk. And don't be afraid under the eye, guys. Do not be afraid. Put that eyeliner on there. And I'm just going back in, blending out the shadow, so that way you just really can't just see eyeliner and then shadow, if that makes sense. Buffing away everything. I usually kind of set it and push my powder in, but today, since I kind of baked, I'm going to just brush it away and brush it away and brush it away. Brush it away. Then I'm going in with the JUVIAS Place for some poppin' blush. Yeah, I put too much, but whatever. Keep going. Going to end with some mascara from Mary Kay. I need some new mascara because, yeah, this one made my eyes a little clumpy, but whatever. We're going to roll with it and worry about that later. And as you can see right here, my eyes started to crease. So like I said, this was all trial and error, and I'm going to do this look again. I'm just going to do a different technique, but no worries because I have hooded eyes, so you're not going to really even see those creases. Sis, I was feeling good after that spray. Feeling good. And just putting it underneath the eyes, mascara, balancing everything out. And yes, feeling beautiful, looking good, ready for summer. These lashes, I bought these from the Beauty Supply store. I can't remember who they're by, but I really thought they were just really glamorous, but not super dramatic, you know, if that made sense. And I just thought they were really pretty and went really well with the look. So yeah, I like them. You gotta feel yourself when you put your lashes on. I mean, come on now. Those brows, honey, are just absolutely beautiful. I love how my brows came out. Does anyone ever feel like one lash goes on easier than the other? It's always my left eye that gives me no trouble. My right eye is just like, no, we're gonna give you trouble. And you see me just smoothing out that color because it started to crease, and then I put a little bit of more shimmer on top of it to give it a little pop. Wow, look at that, beautiful. Morphe, my favorite red, and just outlining the lip with the brush itself because I didn't have a red lip liner, but that wasn't gonna stop my shine. I just took my time and kind of outlined my lip. I really wanted to do a red lip. You could do nude, you could do whatever color you look, but I felt like red would have really made this eye pop the way that it did. And you'll just see it just look like a red hot tamale. It was just beautiful. So I just took my time and filled them in, and just, yeah, they're gorgeous. And I love this red. It does not move. It's not too mattifying, like dry. It was just gorgeous. And I didn't put no more product on the lip brush or anything, just using the same amount that I had and just smoothing out everything and making sure that it's beautiful. And blotting. Oh, I forgot blush. I forgot highlighter. We must go back. And I'm just using the same shimmer for my highlighter that I used on my eyes. I didn't want to do anything extra dramatic. I really just wanted to just be beautiful and natural, you know? We're ready for summertime. I mean, let's go. Yes, blend that highlighter in and just take your time. I felt gorgeous. Bye.